So here we go. Bans coming on through. Zeri, Milio, both taken off of the board. Nico's still up and will be instantly snapped up. And you can anticipate, well, Vi's gone. Wukong's picked up. Maokai's gone too. But not looking for a jungler since that was first picked by FPX. They can wait for third for that one. Possibly a Viego or something along those lines. But the Ahri going to be locked in alongside the Wukong. And just blinding the top lane. So leaving support and AD carry for last. As we are absolutely blasting through this draft. And on the side of LNG, do you go for a support here? Do you go for answer the mid lane, answer the top lane? It's going to be tough. Whichever way you go, you're going to be pinched in the other roles. Oh, what am I talking about mid lane? They've already got Nico. Yeah, it's going to be jungle. And I think, yeah, locking in your jungle now is probably the smart play. Tarzan going for the Kha'Zix as well. Bit of a carry performance in store from Tarzan here. Full lethality jungle locked in. Locked and loaded, ready to go. Lucian banned away to take away the potential Lucian army. You could ban Xayah as well. Take away Xayah Rakan as an option. And then where do you go? I mean, Jinx is still available too, if you just want to take the Jinx off the board. Or maybe ban the Lulu. But I would say banning the Jinx is probably the way forward. I think I'm more scared of the Jinx with a Lulu than I am of Xayah Rakan, to be honest. And then you could just pick. I guess you can wait on your support, can't you? You can counter pick top next and then go support last. Wait and see what they lock in for the bottom lane. As Varys. So LNG want LWX to play Jinx. Is there an angle for LWX to bring out his vintage Kai'Sa? I don't know who I'm asking that question. I'll ask myself. I'll be the colour and the analyst. Wait, the colour, the play-by-play and the colour. Is there an angle for the Kai'Sa to come out, Munchables? Well, it's funny you say that, Munchables. I think there is an angle for the Kai'Sa to come out. Stormrazor first, definitely good for Kai'Sa. You can get Q and E evolves off of 2 items. Very, very nice situation with the Stormrazor into the Kraken Slayer. You can go for the dive. Whether or not you want to dive in a Felios, though, can be a little tricky. And now we see the Rakan being stolen away to deny Xayah Rakan. Jinx and Lulu are both still very available. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Am I missing something? Is Jinx banned and I just can't see it? Like, why are we not just insta-locking Jinx here? There we go. And you could, I guess, like, hard engage support makes sense as well. Something to follow up with your Wukong. I kind of like the Lulu, to be honest. You do have you've got engage with the Gragas and with the Wukong. Even with the Ahri as well. I don't mind the Lulu, but it is Chocho at the end of the day, so the hard engage, I could see it. So Munchables, what do you think LNG will go for as their final pick? Well, Munchables, it's going to have to be top lane. It's up against Gragas. Sion is available if they want to be really boring. But Gwen, also available here. Gnar was banned. They're just going to Sion, aren't they? We're not going to get a carry top lane. Kennen? Jace? Irelia? I don't think we'll see Irelia. I don't even know if Irelia is good against Gragas. Probably not, because he probably just belly bops you, but it's going to be Sion. Who is surprised? Put your hands up in chat if you're surprised that we have Sion versus Gragas top. Very exciting. The mid lane, though, Scout versus Care, Ahri versus Nico, should be a little bit spicy. And I'm looking towards Scout here to get around the map with Tarzan. What we've seen a lot of the time when you've got the Kha'Zix in the jungle is in the mid game. The mid jungle kind of just stick as a pair. Quite often we'll see it with Ahri Kha'Zix, but Nico works as well, where you're kind of moving around, where the Ahri or Nico is there to lock the person up, and then the Kha'Zix jumps in and one-shots them. So keep your eyes out for that like duo pairing that can just kind of slice the game up a little bit. We'll see if they can pull it off. But I'm here for it. I'm here to see what FPX are bringing to the table. I have to say I'm a little nervous for FPX. The fact that they have basically come to LNG. They've come to the house of LNG. It's LNG's arena. They've turned up on the doorstep and they've gone, we're going to play standard meta against you. And we think we can win. And I've got to say, I just disagree, FPX. I'm not sure that's the way you've got to approach this one. But we'll see. We'll see if it works out for them. LNG, on the other hand, Pretty smart draft, taking away the Rakan, denying that Xayah Rakan on the bottom side. Does mean that this Jinx might be vulnerable. But we'll see, because a lot of the time as well, the Jinx can just outrange the Aphelios in a lot of the fights. There is some pretty tasty all-in, though, on the side of LNG. And we'll see if they can pull it off. As we head on to Summoner's Rift. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're ready to kick this one off here in Suzhou, LNG's arena. And you can hear the gyro strong. Actually, FPX, pretty reasonable gyro too. I thought that was going to be incredibly one-sided. Is that they're doing an EDG gyro, and that was an Uzi gyro. So I think some of the fans in the audience are a little confused as to where they are and what's happening right now, or perhaps they just have a sense of humor. I'm going to say the former rather than the latter. Nothing happening on the level 1. Junglers both starting topside though, as inevitably will path down towards our bottom lane. So that'll be exciting. I'm just going to take a little sip of my coffee. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, delicious. Absolutely delicious. I was about to say love a bit of and then say the brand, but that's probably against my contract. So I'm not going to do that. I won't shout out the coffee brand. I will say fair trade though. Important that you get fair trade coffee. Chocho, hook at the bottom side, leads to absolutely nothing. Rakan with the heal. Beautiful stuff. As inevitably, when you look at a draft like this, you're going to have a fairly boring early game. That said, Scout is completely bodying Care. I don't know why Care isn't respected the level 2. That's not a fight he could win. As LWX accidentally autos a minion as the hook comes out. Or maybe that was on purpose, to be fair. He didn't get the last hit, so. Chocho trying to pressure off the level 2. But they won't find much just yet. Hung able to do a lot to tank a bit of damage, but also use that Glimmer Quill just to heal the pair of them up. Keep themselves going. And I have to wonder, do I get Nymaera's day rate at this point as well? Do I get double pay for this? Is this like overtime for casters? Time and a half? I know you can hear me, Jason. Time and a half? What are you thinking? Hit me up. Hit me up. We'll see how this one's going to go, though. So far, aggressive trades at the bottom side, but both starting cold. I'm not really expecting that to kick off in a big way. However, Hacker and Tarzan now both getting towards the bottom side of the map. Nobody going for any kind of invades just yet, but Tarzan clearing through his jungle a bit quicker than Hacker's been able to. We'll have a minor XP advantage. I don't think it'll be a level, though. As Hung not going to get caught by the Flame Chompers. Hacker wants to find his way into this bottom lane. Tarzan's here too, and Hacker's been spotted. That will surely dissuade the play. Oh, I can hear Nymaera in my ears. I don't know if the audience can, but I can hear him. Tarzan gets the scuttle grab. And I think that they are going to just back away. Trying to maintain my train of thought as I hear people talking in my ears, but it is what it is. And Tarzan actually gets a double crab. Double crab for Tarzan. Beautiful stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm about to be joined by, ladies and gentlemen, Nymaera, the one, the only. He's here. He's alongside me. Nymaera, welcome to
Hello, I'm really hoping I'm back. It has been a morning, Joe. It's been a morning. How are you doing? How are you enjoying your first solo experience of LPL?
It's not my first solo experience.
Okay, how are you enjoying this current solo experience of LPL?
I've been in the trenches in this team. That was something. I wish that it was a matchup where I had more to say. I kind of just...
You mean you don't enjoy seeing Gragas versus Sion, and every single meta pick kind of just the most picked in every role? You don't like that?
Well, I'm not saying it's not exciting. I'm just saying it's really boring, you know? You got to read between the lines sometimes a little bit. But yeah, Tarzan got 2 scuttle crabs, so... Hey. What more could you want out of an early game?
That's true, especially when you were playing the Kazakhs as well. You had pretty good scuttle control, very good individual target damage, and that's kind of going to be signal of what's to come with that kind of matchup as well. Tarzan really going to look to start invading, get vision control, and do stuff like this with Hung.
A hacker here, and Hung's moved over to try and turn this into a play. Tarzan will smite the chicken. They're just going to take the camp away. Hacker fully respects it. And this could even be a dragon opportunity with the reset coming out from Chocho in the bottom side. Perhaps they don't want to go for that one just yet. A Scout trying to crash the wave in the mid lane as well. Gala returning to that bottom side. I suppose you can't really go for Drake with the wave crashing in. Sorry, I'm still in solo cast mode. I'm just monologuing.
That's absolutely fine, because basically what I've had to do is move my PC to a completely different room. So I'm like doing tech triage, just like what triaging was happening in the top lane.
Zika in trouble. His ult was blocked here, but he's actually just winning the 1v1 with Xioalaohu. Flash force from Xioalaohu. And here comes Hacker. Zika just walks away. He just flashes out.
He just doesn't care. He's a level 6 Scion, gets the flash out anyway. He's trying to take a pretty dangerous way back to his turret. Xioalaohu and Hacker are going to be able to deny him that wave at least. So it's a minor advantage, but when you're looking to trade something for that dragon of the game, you would have liked the more significant cross-map advantage.
Yeah, Drake will be taking Zika. I respect the bold pathing there, trying to just walk through Tribush again. Like, yeah, I'm sure they can't kill me. He does get away with it in the end. They don't chase too hard as Hacker decides he has to return to his jungle. But Tarzan gets himself that. Drake, pretty chill start for LNG. I feel like they are just slowly but surely eking out advantages. Look at the jungle CS league.
And particularly with Tarzan as well, it's easy to remember how LNG kind of fell apart and Tarzan had quite a poor playoffs performance in spring, but Tarzan was so good throughout the majority of the spring split. LNG were one of my favorite teams to go pretty deep in the playoffs. It's kind of, they really got to be kicking themselves that they didn't do that. This is a bit more of a return for what we know Tarzan can do.
Yeah, and LNG have had a really tough split so far in terms of the schedule. Like, pretty much just playing against top teams. Whether or not you count RNG as a top team at this point is up for debate. Probably not, but aside from
pending. Decision pending.
Yeah, it was, I think, top esports, Weibo, JDG are the other three teams that played, which, you know, that's a tough schedule to start your split off. But that said, this is a team that you would hope can take games, can take series off those other top teams. Like, when you look at the roster, it really should be of that caliber. So we'll see how it continues to develop over the year. I feel like a series like this against FPX, this is their series where they get to... that sounds a bit mean. I was going to say this is their series off, as they should
Well, so it's
be
the show-off
a heavy,
series.
heavy.
The show-off series. See what they can do in this bot lane 2v2.
All in on both sides here. Hung will dash out to safety. Ignite going to be used. Answered with a heal. I feel like a lot was blown into that from long range, but neither team really committed.
The early level 6 hit by Chocho allowed them to go towards that all-in. However, on the other side, LNG, they just kind of preserve a lot of their abilities. It also means that what FPX can do with that, lock LNG into that bot lane, allows Hacker and Care to go towards the top.
Still on the Herald. And Xioalaohu's moving over as well, but Scout is here, and Zika has that ultimate available. LNG not going to pull the trigger on this one, and it will go down to Hacker. So FPX managed to get themselves a Herald, and not much of an answer from LNG on the map. There will be a little bit of pressure in this bottom side, but nothing too significant. They got one plate for themselves, but you know, when you consider it in the grand scheme of Herald answers of like Aphelios getting 19 plates, etc., doesn't feel all that great for LNG.
Veritable crockery store. See what they're serving up on those dishes. Once again, we see Tarzan going into the enemy wrap, into the enemy jungle. Kha'Zix is one of these champions which, of course, does scale in terms of damage fairly well nowadays. He used to fall off as an AD assassin, but particularly with the way that the current itemization works for a lot of AD assassins, Tarzan is going to be a threat there. But more importantly for the Kha'Zix is that you're going to be just a real pressure bot. As soon as you get that Umbral Glaive, things are going to get quite difficult for FPX, particularly when you have a Scion, a Picard, a Nico that can all be surprise engaged.
Yeah, certainly feels like, especially if you get Scout and Tarzan linking up in the jungle, right? The Tangle Bobs come out. You're just Tarzan is just going to rinse you at that point as Oh, Care thought that was Tarzan in his lane there, but surprise, it was Nico. Will it ever get old? Yes.
We've definitely not seen that one.
I'm curious to see any shenanigans out from Scout later on in the game, though. We have seen dramatically different levels of competence when it comes to Nico pretending to be things. We saw Knight as a blue buff yesterday.
We've had a whole montage clip, pretty much during almost all of our breaks. Yagao, one of our better Nikos as well. It just allows anyone who's already been good at those mind games to show off even more.
Okay, well, Care. Can he finish it off? No, he can't. Denied. In the end, Tarzan arrives to save the day. Big play coming out from Care. He tried to make the magic happen, and he was so very close. Zika now, he's been ganked by Hacker. Now he's getting ganked by Chocho as well. LWX up here as well, and Hacker, with that Herald, wants to slam it for his AD carry. Zika just got to try and clear this wave if he can. He's committing to the play. He's staying in this top lane, as he will be able to just about clear that wave, but the Herald will still get a couple of plates here. There's 2 plates taken already. LWX wants a bit more. No respect for the Scion at this point.
Really wondering at that point because, again, bears reminding, it's past 10 minutes. Unleashed Teleport is now available. I was trying to see on the minimap if there was a ward in River for FPX to potentially get flanked on. Not going to be the case in that one, though. Going to go back to the... what started as an honorable 1v1, but of course did not end up that way in the mid lane. Tried to do one of the classic things to do is RE, where you try and clear out the minion wave just as the enemy champions take the turret, try and get them to take a free turret shot. Almost works out. Sadly, Tarzan was there.
Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't make it happen. And Tarzan will get himself first blood. And to be honest, of all of the junglers in the game that you could get a first blood on, like, Kha'Zix is really probably #1. Like, this, in terms of what you can snowball on. Maybe Kindred could edge that out in terms of the snowball ability, but Kha'Zix is insane when it comes to gold and how you're going to use it on those lethality items. Gala as well, apparently going to be going insane, getting some plates here. I think he's going to match the amount of plates FPX got with their Herald, except he's getting solo plates. All right, good talk. Good talk. I think I may have lost Nymaera. Oh, dear. Well, LNG are going to be able to go for these plates, and they might be able to go for a Xioalaohu as well. The knockup is there, but damage from the Kha'Zix, but with a TP, oh, the cast just about escaped from. Some are not going to be used, and actually the TP was cancelled. I didn't quite see how that happened. Care was the one trying to TP. I'm not sure what cancelled it there. Whether that was Scout managing to find a window, but will mean the dive doesn't happen anyway. Zika now gets a taste of LNG's medicine as they try and set up dive in the bottom side. Hacker moving in here, and he didn't have any HP to work with. It's an easy play from... no way, he actually... oh, I thought he got hit by a second tower shot for a second there. He doesn't go down in the end. LWX, look at his health on the side of your screen there. He must have walked away with 20 HP.
He's got to be
so incredibly dicey.
Got to be feeling pretty good to get away with that one at least. Sorry for leaving you in lurch just once again. We're going to go see what did cancel out that teleport. It was, of course, Scout with the E. That root comes down, meaning that LNG once again start to just win across the map. Well, of course, when you're cross-mapping against an Aphelios who has the right weapons, you tend to lose out on those tower trades. So Gala going to walk away that extra amount of gold from that first tower going down, despite the fact that kill went to the way of FPX.
So, this has been a bit of a weird game so far. It's a 2,000 gold lead to LNG. We've got a Drake apiece. And a lot of that gold lead is going to be in that tower that went down. Gala getting a lot of that gold. But generally speaking, I feel like this has been simultaneously a very quiet and very back and forth game where we've had so much going on with the junglers moving around, with the bot lane swapping up to top side. It's not felt like a quiet game at all, despite the only 2 kills that happened.
Let's see what happens in this mid lane. Zika's going for the engage.
Hacker dodges it. Zika just going to be doing a bit of Tokyo drift through the river. LWX took way to safety. Tarzan there in the mid lane. Be a little cautious. I have to wonder, why is Tarzan's claws glowing? He doesn't have a sheet. He doesn't have hair.
Good question. I actually didn't see what was happening. That's a very good question. I have actually
Is that
no
a visual
idea.
bug, or is that the skin?
I was wondering if it was Umbral Glaive for a bit, but I'm not sure.
Care in a bit of trouble here. Big damage from Tarzan. Answered in kind. Care with the Everfrost just to get himself out. Scout with the Pop Blossom. The Moonlight Vigil over everyone as well. It's a gorgeous little engage from LNG's mid laner. And Scout has been looking magnificent this split, and he continues to look magnificent on the Nico.
Going back into this mid lane now, though, and this is, again, the right weapons for the job. Gala's going to absolutely shred through these turrets. LNG talks about them getting to this mid game where they'd have, like, really oppressive engage options with the vision control, and LNG are making full use of it.
So Herald will come off the back of it. Drake not up for another 2 minutes, so they won't be able to get the double neutrals, but hey, you'll take this. A fight plus a tower plus a Herald, that's a huge window.
When you look back at this replay again, a lot of this comes through from the fact that, again, FPX, they want to defend this mid lane out of turret, but this is one of the unseen threats that you have, I mean, no pun intended, from Kha'Zix, having that real ability to starve out vision and allow another angle of attack. They tried from the top side with that sign, didn't quite work out. Happens through Scout coming right down the middle of that fight, and they have so many options available to them from Fog of War. FPX just can't deal with it.
Zika pushing forward pretty aggressively as Scout becomes one with the minion wave. Will he pull it off? Care doesn't notice! How does he not notice? Take it down, and that was not even that good of a
Oh, not the teleport.
And now Xioalaohu in the middle of everyone, rooted up, will be taken down as Gala arrives. A rocket though, but Zika flashes out. He's ignited. The shield comes out from Hung, and he'll survive. Herald now in the bottom side, but it won't even be needed for this tower as Hung actually flashes, trying to find the engage. Won't find his mark though. LNG, they are putting their foot on the accelerator in this one. Chocho, LWX, Hacker, under the tower. They want to defend.
Moonlight Vigil's about to come back for Gala. That's what they keep fighting.
Scout hasn't missed a Tangle Barb all game. Gala survives. Hacker will go down here as LWX, the next target, taken out. Here comes Care on the back line. Hung trying to survive for the time being. Care with 2. Care looking for 3. Care looking to save the game. Tarzan and Scout barely walk away. It could have been a pentakill, but it was so close to being denied.
That close to getting another reset, to getting another ult charge and a heal, and possibly a game-turning fight. Wouldn't have led into anything like a Baron, but it could have at least gotten the extra gold in pocket, maybe a Dragon afterwards. How the heck did this come about, though? It happens because, as you're saying, someone didn't count their minions. There are 4 melees there. There are meant to be only 3. Scout gets the freebie, and just trying to retrain these instincts about where these players can come from has been a thorn on the side of so many different players as Scout. Scouts out again with his W. At this point, though, the hook's great, but the follow-up just isn't quite there. Gala flashes out. He even has his Moonlight Vigil available at this point. Doesn't throw that in the fight. Doesn't even need it, I guess, at the end of it. And we already talked about this before. A game of inches, close margins. I can't quite make it work.
No, close but no cigar. And it does mean 5 stars to gold lead as Tarzan grabs himself the second Drake for LNG. And it will be that Hextech map as well. So portals, meaning that if you win a game by shallow margins, you can't really get, win a fight, sorry, off by shallow margins, you can't really get that much off of it. People will be able to get back onto the map very, very quickly with those gates. So the tier 2 in the bottom side was finished off as well. I feel like FPX, I feel like they're running out of space to play with.
That's a good way to say it, because particularly when you have the Nico making plays in side lanes as well, you just feel a little bit daunted, right? You feel a little bit on the back foot because you can't go into any lane at this point. FPX have engaged on in the mid lane. They've been killed in the side lanes as well. They have to really start questioning where is safe for them to play, particularly with, again, jungle support duo of LNG doing such a good job of removing that vision to play safely on the map.
Gala pushing in the mid lane now. And like you say, the vision game going to be crucial, but they are running out of wards. They've got 2 at River, and that's as deep as it goes for them. One of those is a Scuttle Crab. I guess they do have one in mid lane as well, but it's going to be tough for them to try and face check into this Baron. Because the thing is, from red side, you can get past the Scuttle Crab to do Baron. Like, you can just use the Blast Cone behind the Baron pit to sneak a Baron. So Scuttle Crab doesn't really give you all of the confidence that you would want from the side of FPX. Just clear the waves as fast as they can. But so far, LNG just sitting in the darkness, not actually finding a pick, because FPX are like, you know what? We don't care about the back.
Scout does have a angle again, though. Doesn't have the flash. I think that would be the go button for LNG. They don't have to over-engage right now, though. Use the last of those rifle turrets. Coming out onto Gala, who you're getting around to these big engage coming in from Zika.
Charge forwards. Cho's a target for now and will go down. LWX almost gets taken out simultaneously, but it's Tarzan to fall. Hacker playing bodyguard for LWX, but rooted up himself. The CC chain from this comp is disgusting, as Scout forces everyone else away. Blocked is the zap, and it means Scout walks out as a double comes through for Gala. Oh no, trying to recall. Moonlight Vigil only just goes short.
Just short. If that hits, it might even be the end of the game. Probably going to lead through to potential inhib. Maybe after this point, LNG, they win themselves that hard-won fight. LWX does get excited in the middle of that, though. Makes it slightly less clean than it could have been. But LNG, once again, showing what they can do with this very solid map play. Vision control into solid engages. And when you don't have flash on someone like this Nautilus, they're just sitting ducks for the team of LNG to run them down. Maybe Gala made a bit of a mistake in engaging a little too hard onto Xioalaohu's side of that fight. Maybe could have joined in the burst attempt onto LWX, which of course goes a bit awry from the rest of the team. But they still have enough damage, enough engage options to make sure the FPX can't stand.
So now we return to the Baron dance as LNG get back in that river, clear things away.
Be a tango.
Tier 2 gone bot and mid.
Tango, pass the doble, a ball dance, a waltz. What kind of dance is the Baron?
Since we've got an Ari in the game.
You know what? I like that. I'm gonna keep that in mind for now. We'll see if that one. They have any fancy steps left to FPX? They've not really. They feel like they've had two left feet though in this game. Partly because they've been kind of kicked in the shins by LNG when they've been trying to do these dance moves. I don't really think they're the best dance partners for this. Bit of an aggressive dance, thinking about it, but LNG, I think they're more happy with that than FPX. So.
I tell you who's been the best dancer this game, Scout.
Yeah.
100% kill participation in the 22 minutes of this game. Care gonna be targeted as Zika charges across the map. Care over the wall. Scout, I don't think has been spotted just yet. He's being real cheeky here. He wants to go for LWX. He's invisible. Can he flash on him? Yes, he can. LWX will get out with his life, but Hung is there to follow it up. Taken down now as Jojo just about limps away with his life himself. The Gragas goes down. It's another 2 for LNG.
Scout maintaining the 100% kill participation from the mid lane of LNG, and this will finally be the Baron. FPX, one team fight too many, down into the drain, and this should really be the game-ending objective. FPX, I don't think they have what it takes to defend against the Baron push. They were struggling already in the mid lane and in the side lanes. With the Baron up creeps, you have to really struggle to see a way that they come back from this. Once again, LNG, they have pockets of vision to work with, ample angles to work with. This time it's Scout that has the flash of L for this fight. Damage coming in from the Gale Force of Gala, who does join the assassination threat this time onto the enemy AD carry. Works out just fine for LNG.
Certainly does. LNG feeling fantastic with how this game has been going for them. And Scout is just playing out of his mind. Scout is just having such a whale of a time on this Nico. And the thing is, this is a pick that FPX could have gone for. They chose to go for that Wukong instead, but it's really paid off for them. Third Drake now for LNG. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is a soul game. I don't think that we last another 5 minutes in this one.
For sure. And that is now going to be a real sticking point again for FPX. You're probably looking for just one last hurrah somehow, some way. Any deep wards potentially. Got to be worrying about those minions again. Does that minion show up with the Baron buff? It has been enlarged. I think Scout does technically show as a Baron creep. I didn't quite realize how that was going to happen. This is Care teleporting into Care. Oh
no, they've fallen for it again. It's just too easy for him, isn't it? It's just too easy. Scout's a machine. And FPX, they're the chickens that go into the machine and come out as pies. LNG will get a very, very clean fight here. LWX desperately trying to hold on as go. Oh! Triple kill for the man in blue. And wow, what a way to win the game.
If anyone needs an example of why Aphelios is first pick, first ban for a couple of these teams, it's because of stuff like this. Gale Force, Storm Razor, all of this extra damage, crazy damage, crazy burst, crazy game from LNG.
Phenomenal stuff out from LNG. I want to see a replay of that final kill from Gala, because I did not even think he was like at that level of strength. I don't know how many items he was on. I think it was like 2.5 maybe, but man, that was something else.
It was a lot. I think he had, so basically what's happened with a load of the AD carry items is that, so despite the fact that Infinity Edge has kind of been kind of changed a lot, and a lot of AD carries aren't going towards it, the damage you lose from the extra crit from that has been put into the extra proc from Storm Razor, and then also the Gale Force huge execution threat coming through. It's absolutely nuts, especially when you start leveling up the lethality from Aphelios as well in mid-game. It just becomes way too much for a squishy AD carry to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just witnessed what a squishy AD carry could do against that LWX kid. Absolutely one shot. LNG, short, sweet, simple, coming out from them. Beautiful stuff. And this is kind of what I was talking about before the draft started. Of like FPX, I really don't think that you could approach this series saying, yeah, we're going to play the meta better than you, LNG. Like, I just don't see that happening. I feel like we need to see FPX throw something at this series, like bring out those AD melee mid laners that we've seen Care play, bring out some shenanigans in the bottom side, bring out LWX's Kaiser of old, like, I don't know, maybe a full dive composition, maybe just go for something that's not front to
Like,
back.
we've had this chat recently with, like, the Cogmore from Jackie Love, and it's like, oh, yeah, we've got the Kaiser now. I know that we want a different AD carry meta. We've been seeing the same AD carries for a while, but I'm just going to throw it out there. You pick Kaiser into something like the Aphelios, you're going to have a really bad time.
I know. But I feel like we need something. We need something at this point for the squad of FPX, because if we have another standard game here, I'm not sure that things are going to change dramatically. LNG, sorry, looking amazing in that series, in that game, sorry. With Scout especially, like, I will say there's a point at which you should only be able to get away with Nico being a minion to engage like once per game, you know? Like, beyond that, that should not happen.
Everyone gets one.
Yeah, like, but Scout just played amazingly. And also, it wasn't just like pretending to be minion engages. He had a few other engages that were absolutely fantastic. The flank in the mid lane, I think, is the one that sticks out in my mind, where he was able to find LWX. Absolutely amazing Nico game from him.
And I think this serves as a good reminder that LNG, up until the very last portion of spring, were almost expected to get top 2. They were fighting for that last buy. It was very close run thing between EDG and LNG, and then of course JDG in there as well, getting towards those top 2 spots. And LNG were one of our very best teams in spring. They might have had a disappointing playoffs run, but this is exactly what they can do on a good day.
Certainly is. LNG looking good. Scout actually topping the damage as well. And, you know, based on what we saw in this game, I'm not that surprised. Pretty much exactly a 25-minute game, only 7 seconds out. As I think he finished with 100% kill participation as well there, the 16. Was it 17 kills, though? I think Gala might have
I'm trying to
solo
think
kill
if
at the
Gala
end.
got the solo kill. Yeah, because it was basically 100-0. And of course, you get the assist from like shielding and CCing and stuff like that. But I don't think Nico got in range to do any of that. So, yeah.
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Either way, this is not going to matter. I'm pretty sure Scout's going to get MVP regardless on that one, because that was magnificent. We're going to jump into a break and we'll find out what happens in game 2.